Alright, it's only me. I've come on the day to talk about the recording I did the other day there, the Motörhead track, Wearing Your Heart on Your Sleeve, which comes, of course, for the 2000 album. We Are Motörhead, excellent Motörhead album if you want to check it out. Come just before the massive resurgence that would start 2 albums later with Inferno, but this track very much in the vein of where they were going in the mid-2000s here. Really great track, this one, really enjoyed doing this one. Fun song to play. Tracks 1 and 2 is the guitar doubled up, track 3 is the bass, track 4 is the drums, track 5 and 6 is a kind of, it's like a kind of harmony lead vocal there, and I've doubled up the guitar solo there in tracks 7 and 8. So let's have a play through here and see what's on here. That's the drums that I did up the stair on the B drums there with my stupid double kick pedal. Mixes quite nice with the bass in there.
Nobody sees that we're all on our knees, looking for reasons to do
excellent
what we
lyrics
do.
on this track.
Hey,
Some of Lenny's best, I thought. Really great lyrics.
And truth will go true. Get me some danger, get me a stranger. Time to be counted and
Here's the guitars just doubled up. Drop D tuning. That's it. Like the flying brick wall, then the nose in like King Crimson.
nobody cares, 'cause nobody knows where. Take us away from the fear of their lives. Stand up, oh! Get yourself something that we can believe. Fight up, oh! Do what you find in yourself to succeed. Stand up, oh! Wearing your heart on your sleeve.
This does get into the guitar solo here, cracking stuff.
Hey!
I've just doubled that up there. that was what is on the tapes. Absolutely amazing Motörhead song. Some of Motörhead's later stuff's as good as like the early stuff. This track in particular I really enjoy because it's got that kind of busy music hang about it that I really like. So let's have a play through here and talk about how you actually play the track. Remember, it's a drop D tuning, this one. So your bottom strings tuned down to D. So you've got that Jimmy Page style thing happening there. Just a bit of tuning. So you start off with that. And then you back into this. The chorus here, just doing this. And then back in. Just between F and D for the verses, and then the chorus, and then that'll take you through the second verse as well. And then you come into that bit just before the guitar solo where you're going to A and you're doing this riff with this. Then you get into the guitar solo which goes through a sequence of G, E, C and then finishing on the D. So I doubled up there with the rhythm guitars just doing the... back into that, and then the rest of it is just using the same riffs you already know there. For the guitar solo I just did this with the G hang, just going. Then up G. And then C. Finishing up with a bend up to an F after a high E there. So let's have a play through it. I've turned all the guitars off, so I'm going to do just a playthrough of this. So this is wearing your heart on the sleeve guitar part. that's how you play the guitar part. So I'm going to go back now, switch over to the bass, and do the bass part, because the bass part's really good as well. It's a cracking track, it's got good parts for everybody, which is always nice when you're playing in the band, and it's not just one person getting all the good stuff. Aye, so the bass basically is just the same thing when you're coming in with that. And then the bass is just... and then the D. And then just back in with another round of that for the second verse and chorus, and then you hang on a wee swig of tea. It's thirsty work. But then you're coming into here, you're coming into this bit with the A, but you're going up to the A on the D string at the 7th fret and just doing this. That's all I've got to G with us. E. C. And then back to the F. And then a verse and chorus with the extended chorus at the end there, kind of typical Motörhead, just double the chorus up. So I'm going to turn the guitars back on and I'll do a play along with the bass, and then I'm going to finish this cup of tea and get back to work. So here it is, wearing your heart on your sleeve bass part. that's how the Wearing Your Heart on Your Sleeve track goes for the 2000 album, We Are Motörhead. Excellent stuff. You should really be picking that one up if you haven't heard it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I better get back to work and finish this tea, man. Keep listening to Motörhead.